Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome to the Etiquette e Protocolo channel. I'm Juliana Santiago and today we have another Q&A video here on the channel. As you've all been following along here, I'm always trying to do a Q&A video at least once a month because that way I can answer your most frequent questions sent in previous videos. So, if you have any questions, whether about the topic of this video or about other subjects related to etiquette, protocol, good manners, table setting, hosting at home anyway, leave a comment below. I'm here to help you. And who knows, maybe you'll appear in the next Q&A video. Ilani Alves asked, in the case of us women, we're always wearing lipstick, and when we wipe our mouths, we stain the napkin. Isn't that considered inelegant? Yes, it's not recommended that you get your napkin all stained with lipstick. Ideally, you should go to the table already having removed the excess lipstick from your lips. We know that some lipsticks nowadays, including the one I'm wearing, are long-lasting. However, many times when we eat food that has some oil, it can come off and end up transferring to the cloth napkin. I recommend that whenever possible, you remove the excess lipstick. Go to the bathroom, remove the excess, and then come back. But of course, if that's unfortunately not possible, it happens. But it's also worth mentioning here that the right way to clean your mouth is by dabbing. So the transfer is much less than when you do that thorough cleaning using your cloth napkin. I recently made a video here for IEP talking about the cloth napkin. I'll leave the link below and I suggest you watch it. Lydia Sylvia asked, how do you politely say no to invitations? Lydia, the first thing you have to do when you receive an invitation, even if you already know that unfortunately you're not interested in going or you really don't want to go to that event, is to say thank you. So saying thank you is always the first step. You get an invitation. For example, I invite you to my house, but you don't want to come. You say, Juliana, thank you so much for your invitation. I'm really happy that you thought of me, but unfortunately I can't. First, always thank the person for thinking of you. And the second point, if you already know you won't go, is to actually decline the invitation, right? You don't need to accept an invitation just for the sake of it anyway. Marley Correa Tavares asked, how do you position the water glass and the white wine glass on the table? In this case, Marley, the correct way is to place the water glass and next to it place the white wine glass, okay? The water glass will always be the first glass, and the glass next to it will be the glass for the drink that will be served at that event in that situation. It can happen at that moment during that meal that several drinks are served because they will pair with the dishes that will also be served. So it can happen that we have a white wine glass, but also a red wine glass and several glasses present on the table. Also, if you have any doubts and want to know more about table setting protocols, the placement of glasses, what to do when there are many glasses, how to handle it, I invite you to check out the course E Arte da Mesa Posta. It's a course from our school taught by me where I talk about all these aspects, both for a more formal table setting and a more informal one as well. I even teach you all about it. How you can create the habit of setting the table in your home and incredibly improve your relationships. The link is right below. How do you handle an argument politely, making it end quickly and without losing your composure? Well, I think there's that saying we joke about, right? That if one person doesn't want to argue, two people won't argue. So, if you notice that your conversation with the other person is going a bit over the limit, that the conversation is no longer an exchange, it's no longer something pleasant, where everyone is able to express their point of view in a kind and respectful way, the best thing is for you to end that topic. Exactly, because it's normal for us to be in a society where people think differently from us. That's how the world is. No one is going to think exactly the same as us about everything. And then sometimes there's someone you really care about and on that particular point they don't agree with you and you end up losing the friendship of someone very dear to you simply because of one specific situation. So, what I recommend is that when you get to the point of an argument, you really say, look, I think we're going a bit too far here. We're crossing a line in our conversation. I think it's moving to another level. I think we should leave this conversation for later. Let's talk about something else and try to bring up a lighter topic. As hard as it may be, it's totally possible. The important thing is to have that feeling, that emotional sensitivity, to know how to handle it, okay? And that's something you can definitely train. The important thing is to notice when things are turning into an argument and end it by bringing up a new topic. Mundo da Lulu e da Alisa. Is it mandatory to eat with your left hand? No, it's not mandatory to eat with your left hand. There are two main styles of table manners, continental and American. I go into this kind of topic in more detail in my private course Etiquette e Boas Maneiras, and I'll leave the link below. IAP has several courses on different subjects, so it's important for you to keep an eye on our school's website and also on Instagram, because I'm always sharing updates, news, and exclusive opportunities for people interested in joining our courses. So I'll be very happy to have you on Instagram to keep up with these updates, and also, who knows, maybe you'll join the courses. I'll leave these two training programs linked below for you to check out the content and see which one is more suitable for you. Many people take them all, since the content complements each other. One training and the other from our school. It's Sarah Santos. When meeting my coworkers, how should I introduce myself? Sarah, you can introduce yourself, and I think it's amazing that you want to introduce yourself to your coworkers in case someone doesn't do it. Ideally, when you have a new coworker, you should be a pleasant person and even introduce them to the others. Usually, in companies with a more active HR, this is often handled anyway. Usually, the company even assigns someone to do the introduction. They introduce everyone in the department. They assign someone to be that facilitator for the new person. But if that doesn't happen, you can go up to your coworkers there in your department, right? To the people in your area and introduce yourself. It's nice if you already mention something you like, something that can, in a way, connect people to you. For example, what's your favorite TV show? Do you like to read? Do you have any hobbies? What do you like to do in your free time? For example, I would come in and introduce myself. Hi, I'm Juliana Santiago. I'm very happy to be part of the company, and I hope to meet you all soon and get to know you better. I have a 2-year-old daughter who is the love of my life. Whenever possible, I like to go out with her, take my daughter to the playground, and I love connecting with her. I'm also married. I have a husband who lives with me. Anyway, I would share a piece, a slice of my life, because then sometimes if there's someone at work who is a mother or someone who has children, they'll connect. I would also take the opportunity to mention a preference. For example, I love comedy series. My favorite is Friends. So, is there anyone here who likes Friends? Come talk to me, because I love Friends. I've watched all the episodes, so that's a way for people to get to know you. Even though it might seem shallow, people will like it because they'll have something to talk about with you. Wow, really? You like Friends? There's always someone at work who's a fan of Friends, right? And they say, oh, I love Friends too and all that. So if you can put things there that will connect you with other people, it's really interesting. I suggest you go down that path. It's going to work out really well. Sandra Minari, I'd like you to talk about being on time, whether it's for a doctor's appointment, a manicure, or a party. Can we talk a little more about this issue of time management? Let's call it punctuality etiquette. But generally, everyone, ideally, we should keep our meetings and work on schedule. So, for example, if you have a meeting at 2 in the afternoon, ideally, you should arrive at 2 in the afternoon. In social settings, you can be up to 15 minutes late. That's generally acceptable. And if you're going to be much later, it's important that you let people know. There is a rule which can be interesting for people who are often late and always say, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late, for every 5 minutes, add another 5. So if you're going to be 5 minutes late, you say you're going to be 10 minutes late. If you're going to be 15 minutes late, you say you'll be 20 minutes late. Depending on your situation, I even suggest that you round it up a bit and add up to 10 more minutes. For instance, if you'll be 5 minutes late, say you'll be 15 minutes late, so you arrive on time and feel more confident. It's no use, especially in a business meeting, arriving all rushed. You end up very nervous and anxious. So, the ideal is that you prepare yourself, especially if you're going to make a sale, enter a negotiation process with someone, or give a presentation. If you arrive all flustered like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, that in a way makes you a bit uncomfortable and it takes you some time to get back to yourself, to your center. So, whenever you can, try to schedule things 5 to 10 minutes ahead. That's what I recommend. I think it will be really good for you if you're someone who tends to be late. You prepare ahead of time and help others get ready too. But of course, ideally, you should always arrive on time for work situations. And for social situations, being 15 minutes late is okay, because that's a totally different occasion, right? You're at a party, at a get-together at someone's house, so it's a different context. And for you who enjoy the videos, who have already sent me questions before, do you want to know if your question was answered? Right here on the side, I'll leave the playlist with video number 1 and number 2, since this is the third video in the Q&A series here on the Etiquette e Protocolo channel. I'll stop here for now. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.